Hey friends, how are you today? How is everybody feeling? What is going on in this crazy world that we live in? How late did you stay up last night if you're in the States? I think we were up till about 1:30 until I finally just said, I can't take this anymore. I gotta go to bed. And I know everybody's on pins and needles today to find out what's going to happen. Um, and it's funny because I don't believe in coincidence that I would have scheduled in my friend and breathwork coach. She's amazing, Rita. She's coming to us live from England. I'm trying to bring her on right now. She'll be with us in just a minute. To discuss our top techniques for breathing through these most uncertain times. It's so important sometimes when the world just feels like it's spinning out of control to just stop for a minute and in and out, right? Inhale, exhale. And so we're going to be going through that in just a minute. But while we're waiting for her to come on, I'll introduce myself. If you're new to me, my name is Sarah Rose. I'm coming to you live from my office in Charleston, South Carolina. And I mentor female entrepreneurs who are high achievers and ready to either start or scale their own business by giving you the mindset and business strategies that you need to have in place in order to create your dream online business. So let me know if you're catching this live, give me a hashtag live. If you're catching the replay, give me a hashtag replay. And if you're new to my world or to Rita's, just drop us a hashtag newbie. And then I also like to know our audience too, and just make sure that the message is coming across to exactly who our listeners are. So give me a 1 if you have this call or this spirit inside of you that's like, you're meant for more and you want to start your own online business. You might have an idea, but you just haven't really taken the steps because you don't know what those steps look like. Give me a 2 if you already have a business, like a side hustle that you're looking to transform into a full-time, thriving, legit business. And give me a 3 if you already have your own business and you're looking to take that to the next level. So that way we know exactly who's here and who we're talking to. And let us know too where in the world you're tuning in from, because we've got friends and clients from all over the world, literally across the globe. So we like to know who's listening in and from where. All right, let me see if I can find out what's going on with Rita. I've sent her the invitation. Let's just give her a second to come on. And I can't see who's here. So just also, if you're watching live, will you just let me know that you can hear me okay? You can see me okay? I see several people are on, but I can't see who's here. I don't know where Rita is. Okay. Well, while we're waiting for her to come on, we'll switch gears a little bit and let's talk about some business strategy, about being authentically, here's Rita, she's here. Okay, this is another topic for another time, but I do want to talk about authentically owning your power and stepping into your greatness. It's something that we really, really have got to dive into. Maybe Rita and I can talk about this a little bit too, because it's something that's just been an absolute game changer for myself and my clients over the last few weeks. Here she is. She's coming. Yay. There we go. Yay, success.
Hey,
Hi.
I wasn't sure what to do. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm here.
You're here. We got it going. That's perfect. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you doing?
We're okay. We're just
Hanging
everybody's
in
on
there.
pins and needles today. Yeah.
Yeah.
My best friend and I have created a new holiday today. We're calling it Election Recovery Day. And that will involve tacos, margaritas, and a fire pit here in a little bit.
Yeah, why not? I mean, we don't know how long it's going to last, so, you know, no news is good news, they say.
Yeah, I guess. So we just breathe our way through it, don't we?
Exactly.
I'm so happy to have you here today. And Rita, will you just kind of give us an overview of who you are, an introduction as to why you're here and maybe how we connected?
Yeah, well, basically, I do breath work with many clients. I also do a meditation, I'm a meditation teacher, law of attraction coach, and also part-own and co-present an online entertainment show. So, and me and Sarah met through that. Well, we actually met a little bit before, but it was lovely to have Sarah as a guest on our show, because obviously we interview inspirational ladies, and Sarah is an inspirational lady. So yeah, but I do a lot of body, mind, spirit work, and that does involve a lot of breath work, which is often overlooked. So that does come hand in hand with meditation as well. So I feel that it's so important that we look at that, especially, you know, this pandemic is increasing. You know, the UK are going to be on a lockdown as from tomorrow. So, you know, it's something that we need to be aware of, and looking after ourselves and just connecting to ourselves spiritually, as well as doing what we can to help ourselves stay healthy, stay positive during this difficult time.
Oh my gosh, I think that's so, all of it is so important. We're going to have an amazing conversation today. I'm just totally feeling that right now. Everything you just said, I love it. I love it. And let's start with why meditation is so important. I used to see all these like amazing people talking about meditation, like super successful people that I looked up to. And one of their things that they kept talking about was meditation. I was like, all right, maybe I need to try this, because it wasn't something that was ever like in my realm before. And I started it and I dabbled in it, and I thought, oh, I should meditate today. Or oh, I haven't meditated in like a week or a month, or maybe it's been like 6 months or something. Just totally
Yeah.
dabbling in it. And then I read Rebecca Campbell's book, Light is the New Black. Have
Hmm.
you read this?
I haven't, no.
So good. And she's got a 21-day meditation program. And so I started plugging into that and went with it for every day for like, well, I'm still in it actually, not the full 21
Yeah.
days yet, but 2 weeks into it. And after the first day, I went, this has got to be part of my day. Like, it's a non-negotiable,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it just feels so good to get your head cleared out of all the gunk
Yeah.
and your focus for the day. And these downloads start to come of like ideas and next steps. And it's almost like guided action, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
Why do you think it's so important, and that it is a non-negotiable in a morning daily routine?
I think, like you said, you know, you realize when you start meditating, you realize what was missing in your life. You know, like we can go on, we can do the daily chores, we can work out, we can, you know, get everything that we need to get done. But there's always that gap, and until you meditate, you don't realize, ah, that's the missing piece. That's like the missing jigsaw puzzle. And meditation is a way of not only quieting the mind, but it's getting into that silence. It's getting into the silence between the thoughts. It's getting into the silence of trust and faith in yourself. It's where you're not dependent on anybody else, but you're just dependent on the inner silence. And that can be quite scary. I mean, if you think about when there's uncertainty, we get quite fearful about that. So to be silent and to have no noise can be like, oh, you know, this feels uncomfortable because it's doing something that we don't normally do. But when we get into that practice, like you've been doing, and like for myself, you know, I do it twice a day, and it's like I'm coming home. It really feels like this is my home. This is my true self. This is where I'm meant to be. And meditation is really that journey to back to you. It really is that coming home where, as you said, the clarity, the answers come. And I think many, especially obviously, you work with a lot of business owners. I work with a lot of people in the arts and entertainment industry, and people from all different backgrounds. We think we need to find that home outside of us, but really it's in that stillness and quiet within.
Yeah, for sure.
And we just don't switch off. You know, we feel we have to keep on moving externally, but just that still, that silence is all you need. And many of us struggle with that, unfortunately. I know through my personal journey, meditation, why I'm so passionate about it, is because it transformed my life personally. Because I was someone who was very insecure, very shy, you know, I wouldn't say boo to anyone, I would just be like, no, very uncomfortable. But through meditation, I learned a lot about myself. And this is why it's like almost, it's like my comforter, because it's what got me to where I am today through meditation. So I'm passionate about it.
Absolutely, absolutely. And for me, yeah, sitting in the silence is something I need to work better on. I prefer a guided meditation because it kind of takes me where I'm meant to go that day. But then I think if you start that way, then the silence isn't so uncomfortable when you are ready to make that
Yeah, yeah,
transition.
definitely. Because with the guided meditation, it helps you to start slowing down your thought process, to understand the breathing behind it, to understand it's okay to let go,
Yeah,
to surrender. And anytime ever, like when I teach my regular circles, I always say, give yourself permission to let go, because
yes,
we hold on to the baggage. It's like, yeah, I'm going to do meditation, but we're still holding on. And it's like, just let go. It's
yeah,
okay. You can go back to that after meditation, and it will feel better when you go back to it. But right now, just let go. Just trust, and I think we don't practice that enough. So yeah, guided meditation is really good to begin with, and then as you continue practicing it and you start to let go, then experiencing the silence is different, but it takes you beyond the active mind, and it takes you even deeper.
yeah. And that clarity is just so freeing. I mean, to just empty your head, because I think so many of us are so busy. We have all these other commitments,
Mm,
like you said. It's our careers and um, life and all the
yeah,
hats that we wear as women in general. And there is this gap where there's
yeah,
sometimes just no more connection anymore to yourself, which means
yeah,
that true connection isn't there for others. It's like in Eckhart Tolle's book, The Power of Now.
yeah, yeah,
I think it's The Power of Now,
yeah,
of being present.
mm,
And if you can't even be present for yourself, then how can you be present for your loved ones? And so now I tell, even when Sophie was distant learning up until a week ago, first thing every morning I got her ready for school, and then I'd come into my zen den here, and I would close the door and tell her and my husband, leave me alone. 11 minutes. That's all I ask
yeah,
for in the day to myself. That like I need this space, and
yeah,
they finally learned to
definitely,
respect that boundary. But you've got to make this a part of your daily routine
yeah,
if you need headspace. And I was finding myself saying, I don't have the headspace for that. I can't think. I Give me just a minute. Give me just a minute. Give me just a minute. Let me think about that tomorrow. Let me think about that later. And compartmentalizing everything. And now it's
yeah.
like, you know what? I do have the headspace for it because I made the headspace for it. Does that make sense?
Definitely, yeah, yeah. It's amazing how things come together when you actually do that. And I always say to people, if you want to start meditating, start off small. So don't say, okay, I'm going to take 30 minutes, I'm going to take 20 minutes, or like you said, like 11 minutes to do it. If you really struggle because there are some of us that can't switch off, that are constantly thinking. I would say start with 2 to 5 minutes, see how you get on. If you go longer than that, brilliant. If you don't, that's fine. But you're practicing, you're getting into the routine. And, like we go for a shower, like we clean our teeth in the morning, in the evening, it's like use it as part of the routine, because it is going to sustain you. Like you said, it's like things just come together. Even manifesting, Sarah, you start to manifest some amazing things. Obviously, me and you, we have that connection in terms of law of attraction, and some of us struggle to manifest things. If you just stepped away and just connected within, you'll be amazed how much you manifest,
Yeah.
and it's just by letting go, and it's just bringing that routine into your life. It is difficult, and a lot of people who approach me always say, I can't sit still, I can't stop thinking. And I'm like, we're not asking you to not think. I'm like, in my meditation circles, I said, if you have to move, move, but just stay in with your eyes closed and keep breathing, stay focused on the breath, and you won't lose that connection. It will come with practice.
Yeah. But it's like self-torture, because if you can't stop thinking, you can't stop thinking.
Yeah.
And then you just end up driving yourself crazy. And I think there's this whole thing where like we're all trying to find the balance and, give me the business strategy that I need. I don't need mindset. That was me in the beginning of this journey. I was like, I don't need mindset. I don't need spirituality. I don't need meditation. Just tell me what I need to do and I'm going to go do it.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so there's that component. But then there's also the component where you have to look after yourself along the way. And you have to lean in and enjoy the journey and realize that it's not this like destination. It's this process of learning and giving yourself the grace and the space and the patience to birth something that is going to be sustainable and a legacy business. And so with all the business strategy in the world, you could still never get anywhere, because it's also just important to know those foundational strategies as to have a way to clear your mind so that new ideas can come and your creative flow can kick in, and also so that you're in tune with who you really are and who you really want to work with, so you're not just taking on anybody because their card clears the bank, right? Like you're
You
in
start to
alignment.
attract those right people to you.
Yeah,
Definitely.
it's
I
all of
always,
that.
and it's I always kind of use it like, you know, in your wardrobe, you want to get some new outfits, but your wardrobe is full of all the old stuff, and you're like, no, I don't want to let go of that, but I really want a new outfit. So you have to let go of all the old stuff before you can bring in the new stuff that you get excited about. So meditation is that one way of actually emptying the mind of all the garbage from the past and all the anxiety about the future. Because like you said earlier, it's about being in the present. And I always say, if there's lots of thoughts going on, if you can't switch off, let those thoughts go. Because when you start to focus, and this is where the breath comes in and the power of the breath with it, when you start to focus on your breathing, your thoughts slow down. They just automatically slow down, and that's the connection of breath and thought. So when you change the pattern of your breathing, you change the pattern of your thoughts.
Yes.
And that's what brings it together. So don't try and force yourself, no, I'm not going to think of that, because you're just battling and you're too active. You need to be like, breath work. I need to go in and breathe and focus on something that I don't even focus on, because none of us focus on our breathing. And do that, and then you'll notice that you're not even thinking about those thoughts, are just going by.
And it's so important what you're saying. I mean, the last few years, well, I guess it was about 6 years ago now. Can't believe how time flies. We had a financial disaster several years back, and out of that came this terrible anxiety, like to the point of panic attacks. I thought I was having a heart attack, and the doctor was like, "Come in, we'll do some testing or whatever." Had EKGs and everything. They're like, "It's like a panic attack." And throughout this whole election week, you would think that like I would really be needing to take my anxiety medication. But out of meditation and being able to tap back into the breath, it hasn't even occurred to me to take it. So I mean, it's some really powerful stuff when you have that as a coping mechanism. It's something we all have in us. It's just remembering to tap into that.
Yeah, and that's the power of breath. I mean, um, when we're anxious, when we're filled with, as you said, like panic attacks, our breath quickens and we don't have room for more breath. It's like we're trying to find the next breath because we get so breathless, and then often, people saying breathe slow, but what happens is, a lot of us, we get into the habit of breathing too much, and we don't realize that we should slow our breath down so that when it comes to times of stress and we get a little anxious, we have that reserve of breath so we don't get into a panic attack and we don't get breathless and start hyperventilating, because what we're doing then is we've got the reserves. And practicing breath work helps you to tap into that, saying, okay, I'm getting anxious, I can feel my breath is I'm starting to breathe a lot quicker, this is what I need to do, and then slowly breathing and focusing on that breath. But what we do is we let it continue because we're so used to breathing fast that we don't realize the power of slower, deeper breaths that actually work the system internally and are better for you than the quick, shallow breaths that we tend to do when we're in anxiety, stress, or even, depression, when we're mourning someone. All these emotions can create havoc with our breathing.
For sure. So I know that you love yoga as much as I do. Where does yoga come into the breath work as well?
Well, yoga is very much focused on the inner self as well. And, I always see yoga as a connection to the divine, because when you're in the process of just being still in a yoga pose, you actually have that sense of silence around you. Be that if you're in a yoga studio with other members of the class or you're following it online, there's that connection of, in that pose, you're having to internally focus. And when you're trying to balance, say if you're doing tree pose or something like that, you're needing to focus, but also the breath allows you to gain that focus. The breath is what strengthens your core muscles, so you're able to stay in that balance. So breath work with yoga is a huge component, and it also helps with just taking again that focus off how difficult a pose is, to then breathing through the muscles and allowing the energy force to go through the body so it feels better and you can actually stay in that pose a little longer.
I love it. So the things we're talking about today are ways to connect back to yourself and find that divine guidance of what the next steps need to be, of looking inwards, being able to clear your mind and think clearly and breathe through any situation and move through any situation. And these are all great techniques to include and incorporate into your morning routine, which we do, right? So I think that's super important because it's how you're going to get your vibe high to go into your day and do your best work and live your best work and embody your best work and be the best version of yourself for yourself, for your loved ones, for your business, for your community, for your audience, for the collective, right?
Yeah. And
These are
also,
all,
yeah,
sorry, go ahead.
sorry, I was just going to say that these are also things that you can tap into anytime stress comes up. So, and what I love about breath work is breath work doesn't have to be saved for a particular time of day. It can be utilized anytime. So anytime you're in something and you're stressed, it's like, okay, what breathing technique do I know? I need to tap into that. I always say to my clients, hey, if you're at work and you can't actually, do some breathing techniques there, excuse yourself, go to the bathroom, take some time and just do some breath work there. Just get yourself into a point where you're relaxed and then come back in. Because again, like with meditation, it will take off the panic and it will start to help you, because the thoughts would calm down and then you gain that clarity to re-look at what you're doing, and it will bring you back into the present, not getting anxious about, oh, I can't do this, and thinking too ahead of yourself that you can't. In the present we always can, but it's when we think about the future that we think we can't, and that's where the anxiety comes in. So breath work brings you back.
Yeah.
Especially if you can't meditate or do yoga at that moment. That's why I love about breath work, is that it fills the gaps during the day, and then you can combine it with yoga and meditation as well to get that whole package.
I
So
love
yeah,
that. I love that. And it does, it totally brings you back to alignment too, as to who you are. And this is something I've really been studying, shall we say, embodying, living the last couple of weeks more than ever before. And I attribute it to meditation and yoga, to being able to have a clear head and look at things as they really are. And it's just it's funny but not funny in that I always say, be authentically who you are. Show up as the best version of yourself for your audience, for your clients, for your community, whatever. And I
yeah,
always thought I was doing that. I always thought I was doing that. But you know what? I wasn't. I was always being the good girl and who I thought everybody wanted me to be, and what I thought they wanted me to be, and how I thought that they would want me to be that. And it came during a meditation and a download, like, you're not all business strategy. You're fun. You love to laugh and be silly and have
yeah,
fun,
yeah,
and this feminine side was missing. It was all masculine side, all business, all the time. But then when you incorporate some of these feminine things, and I'm not saying like guys can't do meditation or yoga. I'm just saying this is more of
the
a
energies,
flow
yeah,
and energy.
yeah,
Exactly, exactly. And then when you can combine that with the business strategy, oh my God, that's the law of
yeah,
attraction combining with the law of action to create magic. That's
yeah,
where it happens. So we're not saying just sit there all morning and like do some yoga stretches and like meditate. Like, make this part of your daily routine as much and as often as you need to throughout the day, but then back it up with the action, the
yeah,
masculine energy, combine the two, and
yeah.
man, that is like total alignment and inflow.
True. And there's nothing better than inspired action.
Yeah.
You know, once you're inspired, and it's like, you know, you'll have that gut instinct, you'll have that, you know, that third eye instinct to almost be like, I know what to do. I'm going to give that a go. And then it just all falls into place.
Yeah.
You know, I always say miracles happen when you practice meditation on a regular basis. Because, like I said, you know, the manifesting that, you know, it just comes. It's like you've got this, you know, who needs a genie when you've got meditation? You know, you don't, because you're in the zone all the time. And I think just the struggle is getting people to implement it. It's difficult to implement, but once you allow yourself, and just as I said, just give yourself permission to let go, you'll see the amazing benefits. You'll feel it, and you'll
Yeah.
feel that, like what we've said, coming home,
Yes.
feeling.
And really standing in your truth and owning your truth
Yeah,
and owning your power. And this is another thing I used to tell my team and my clients, never ever post anything political on social media. You're going to alienate half the people who don't believe the same way that you do. And then this also came to me, and I'm like, okay, well, if I have a message, if I have a voice, I need to share that. I need to stand up for my truth and what I believe is right and correct and
yeah,
true. And if you're not on the same team as me, that's okay. We can still be friends and like agree to disagree.
yeah,
But if you're not gonna,
exactly.
if you don't want to be in my world, then you're not my people and I'm not your people. So I'm going to
Yeah,
shine my light and say exactly what I want to say and what I think and what I believe is right. And that might not be for everybody, but I'm okay
yeah,
with that now.
yeah, yeah,
And it's no
exactly.
longer being like the good girl and what I want everybody else to see me as. This is like the real deal, right? And I think that empty mind, emptying of the mind, to give yourself that space to grow into the person that you already are and to own that is
Yeah,
a beautiful thing. It
definitely.
is like coming
It
home.
really is. It is freeing, and you know, even when you're explaining that in terms of, like, I mean, I do chakra healing as well, and you know, your chakras, one of your chakras is your throat chakra,
Mm.
and a lot, you know, when I've done the healing, I can see when someone's throat chakra is blocked, and they're not speaking their truth because they feel, oh, I shouldn't say that, you know, I don't want to offend, or but sometimes you can say things without offending. You can just be
Yes.
speak your truth,
You can
and
still keep
obviously
it
then,
classy, right? You don't have to like throw
yeah,
out
exactly.
like
And you know, and we also have our root chakra, which is the foundation of who we are. And when that's balanced, then we're like speaking our truth. We're owning our position in our family, in our personal life. We're saying, here I am, and I'm confident in that. And so, you know, with the chakras, they tell, you know, they're guiding you to be true to yourself. Because when you're not true to yourself, that's when they're unbalanced. And that's when we get that anxiety and we get that feeling, no, I shouldn't. I'm going to back off into this little corner and stay here. But you don't know how many people you can help by speaking the truth. You don't know how many people you can touch and who agree with you but maybe not feel confident enough to say it. And just seeing you as an inspiration is like, yeah, I can actually do that. I feel confident enough because I know it's okay to have a voice and be positive at the same time.
Well, and it
So
makes you more
I think,
trustworthy too, because if you just don't,
yeah,
if nobody knows your position on anything, it's like, well, who are you really? Like, what are
yeah,
you
who am
really
I
doing
being?
here?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly, yeah. So, you know, I think it's just freeing to be your authentic self. It's like, here I am, I'm living life, I'm experiencing it, I'm enjoying it. You know, I have my ups and downs. Hey, I'm only human, but at the same time, this is me. Love me or don't, it's totally up to you. But
Yeah.
I'm going to be my authentic self. And
Oh,
it's just freeing,
it is so
totally
freeing.
freeing. Yeah.
You know, and it's not like I don't care what anybody thinks about you or whatever. It's more of
Mm.
just live your life and be yourself and do your best work.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the people who want to come along for the ride will come with you, and the people who don't, that's okay too. Like, you know, enjoy
Yeah.
your journey too. It's all good. We're all good. But I'm gonna
Exactly.
do me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I love it. Well, thank you so much for your time today. And
Thank you for having me.
if you'll let everybody know where they can find you and reach out if they want to learn more about breathwork, yoga, chakra healing. I mean, all this stuff. I love it. We could go on for days.
Yeah.
But I got to get
Um,
to election recovery day, right? Tacos and margaritas.
yeah, exactly. That's important. And I'm going for my for a meal before lockdown, so
Oh, yes. Bless you guys. Oh, so sorry.
yeah, I mean, you know, it is what it is. And again, you know, we look at lockdown as something very negative, but at the same, looking back at it, you get the opportunity to spend that time doing quality things, shutting
Yes.
out everything. Learn meditation during this time. Learn, you know, do a new workout regime. Learn yoga. You know, learn breath work. All these new opportunities can be there, can be
Sure.
found. So
Yes.
let's not be
Don't
negative
squander the
about it.
time.
It just
Yeah.
is what it is, you know. But yeah, for myself, if anyone wants to contact me, they can check out my Facebook page, which is at Coach Rita Hurry, and my Instagram page, which is also at Coach Rita Hurry, HURRY. And there you can connect with me and see what I'm up to.
Awesome. If you want to drop those links in the comments below so that they can
I
literally
will.
just click and go find you, that would be awesome.
No
And we
problem.
have an exciting announcement. Rita and I are collabing. She
Oh.
is going to be sharing some breathwork exercises and information and chakra healing information with my one-to-one clients. So you will have access to some of this work with Rita, as well as in the program, which is launching in January, Rose Alchemy, which is amazing program with business strategy as well as some of the techniques and strategies which we've been talking about here today. So, Rita, I'm excited to collaborate
Yeah,
together.
me
It's going to be
too. Thank you for
amazing.
that. Yeah, anything I can do
Yes,
to help and spread, you know, health, body, mind, spirit health, then yeah, no
exactly,
problem.
exactly.
Enjoy. I
And
love it.
I see Melissa's on too. Yay! We're gonna have you on. I think is it next week, Melissa?
Yeah,
I
I
think
think it
so.
is
We're going to be
next
talking
week.
about
Yeah.
systems and putting teams together and collaborating with other women who can lift you higher. It's going to be an amazing conversation as well. Funny enough, Melissa is Rita's sister. So we got the
That's how
whole
we
damn
balance
fam.
each other out. We've got the system girl, and then we've got the spiritual girl. So.
I love it. I love it. So awesome to have you girls. I love you guys. And
Thank you.
thanks everybody for watching today. Tune in next Wednesday, same time, same place, noon Eastern Standard Time for our next episode of the Business Accelerator TV. So thanks again, Rita. Thanks, guys. See you next
Thank
time.
you. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.